Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
How's everything going? And you know, Todd, I'm trying to figure out how to do this thing again. Gosh damn it. Every time it's like, all right, I'm going to the What the Puck page. There it is. All right, yeah, it just came up. How you doing? You okay? Fantastic then. He's Mike. I'm Sean. So much to get into tonight. Legit, so much to get into tonight. Including something near and dear to my heart that I'm really looking forward to. Mike, the start of the high school hockey season.
Unbelievable. Can you believe it's here?
I know.
We do this every year. We can't believe it starts. We can't believe we're sitting in the stands at USA for the championship and it's over. We are miserable in between. But again, like you said, once Halloween starts creeping closer, we start getting excited and talking about it. Media days this week have pushed us over the edge and we're ready.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We were out. I couldn't make it to the KLA Media Day on Monday, but you and I were at the OAA and the MIHL Media Days as well. So
yeah,
that was a good time.
That was a good time, and it's always good to see the coaches. We've gotten to know some of these coaches pretty well, and then you see these captains come in and those beautiful jerseys, all ready to represent their community. And we hear about the new kids coming up. I'm excited, Sean. A lot of coaches and a lot of players talked about the new kids coming into high school this year.
We are very excited as well because we are still doing all our coverage on the State Champs Network. We have a bunch of games. We'll tell you about some of the games coming up where Mike's going to be my commentator and everything. John Kidd is still doing the interview with the coaches, but Mike and I are going to be doing the Hockey Time show itself. So we're really excited about that.
It's nothing but an honor, Sean, to be able to get up there with state champs yourself, John Kidd, Chuck, John Watson, and the boys to be part of that show. I can't wait to get started. You know, we were talking about it in the car the other day. I'm a touch nervous because of it's a big thing. You know, it is what me and you see as a big thing is this high school hockey. And to be able to get up there with you and talk about it every week is just going to be amazing.
Looking forward to it. And you know what? We have our first broadcast a mere 6 days away, Mike. And what a really cool broadcast it'll be. Birmingham and Brother Rice. Like how cool is that? BU and Brother Rice, the Battle of Birmingham. How stinking cool is that?
It's very, me and you, it's very cool. To those that are just listening to us, if you could have been at Media Day and heard both teams talk about the excitement of this game, what it means to them. And Sean, a little bit of smack talk going on, between the two teams. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see what Coach Warson's going to bring to that game. He's talking about some new guys coming in and what BU could be. They may represent there, but according to the Brother Rice boys, it might not happen.
Well, you know what? We're looking forward to it. We're going to do that game. And then the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to do the Battle of Baseline again, Novi, Northville on a Tuesday night. And the next night, we're going to head out to Brighton. What a dandy this will be. KLA versus MIHL. Orchard Lake St. Mary's visiting Brighton. Really looking forward to it, man.
I mean, you've got Brighton, as you call them, your words, the usual suspects. They're always there. Coach Cavisto's talking depth, Sean. You were telling me he's talking depth, so hopefully see him, because what I'm hearing about Orchard Lake is they had a great offseason in the development leagues, and they're ready to go. They're ready to repeat as champions.
Lots of things to get into. Let's get to some of your comments. Our buddy Ben, that's great news. Mike and Sean, good stuff. Thank you, Ben. I know you've done it forever. Tom said, love the lid, Mike. Good evening, hockey fans.
Good evening.
I miss the lid. I do. You know my feelings on Quebec. I hate them. I hate them. And I would give anything to have them back in the league tomorrow. Like literally, yes. You need hate in your life. Yes, yes, yes. I firmly believe that, Mike.
I mean, what would you give to be going, like, let's say, just make this up, Sean, you and me. We get in a car at about 2 a.m. one evening and we start driving out towards Montreal, maybe like we've done it before, right? But we're going to Quebec this time.
A little
And
further.
we're going to a Quebec Montreal game. Come on. What would that be?
True story, Mike. I don't know if you remember the particulars. You and I went to a 24-hour eatery place in Livonia, and we decided that we were going to leave at about 6 o'clock in the morning. And we did, and we were making really good time. And then we hit a massive, massive storm, and it was absolutely positively miserable. But we made it. We made it. We took a little highway 2, almost to the border of Quebec. We picked up a hitchhiker, made Mike sit in the back seat with the hitchhiker.
That was that. You can't make that whole story up. It's just from beginning to end, from the burrito I had at 5 a.m. in Livonia to us getting back from that trip. You cannot make up everything that was in between. Just an amazing story.
I still, one of my favorite lines that you ever had, and knowing you probably don't even remember making it, but you were talking about it after the fact, and you're like, at first I was kind of pissed off that, okay, I'm in the back seat. What if this guy's crazy? And then in typical Iavasile fashion, you go, then I thought to myself, I have two of the craziest guys I know in the front seat, and I figured I was totally cool. That was like the best. That was like the best line. As crazy as that guy could be, we were a little out there back in the day,
Yes. So I've got to ask you this because we got tons to talk about, but my memory, you always say that. So in my memory, we got stopped on the 401 right before Toronto.
Yes.
And like it was dead stop. There was just piles of cars before we got turned around by the OPP. And we were throwing a football in the freeway. And if I'm not mistaken, we had beverages.
We did.
Okay.
We
all
did.
right. That's what I thought. We were on the 401 throwing the football and having a beer. Okay.
Yes, we did. And do you remember we pulled over? It was I'm almost positive it was Oshawa. And we got off and I talked to the Ontario provincial police officer. And the Ontario provincial police officer, do you remember? He said, well, as a member of the Ontario provincial police, I would strongly advise you to stay in Oshawa for the night. The roads are highly unpassable. As a lifelong hockey fan, I would tell you go about 2 kilometers up. You'll run into Highway 2, and Highway 2 will take you almost all the way to the Quebec border. Good luck, fellas. And that's what we did.
I 100% remember that.
Yeah, that's what we did.
I remember that, and I remember the hitchhiker actually got us back to the freeway. He didn't want to go any further. He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Just let me off here later."
He drove with us for a while too.
He did.
He really did. What the fuck? What were we doing? We were kids. Like, what were we doing, right?
Well, I've got to tell you, like, here we go. We're off on this tangent now,
Sorry,
so we're just going to get there.
You're gonna have to. And by the way, can I skip forward to the end? The Habs pounded the Bruins at the games we went to, so that's the happy ending for you. Okay.
That everyone will ask, like, how did you let a hitchhiker get in the car with you? How do you know he wasn't a murderer or something? I said, you have no idea. I ate a burrito at 5 a.m. I barely made it to the bathroom at one of the nastiest gas stations on Highway 2 to use the toilet because I was so sick. That was way worse than anything that a hitchhiker could have done to me.
We can't tell you everything. That was like one of those trips where a lot of things happen, and we can't tell you everything. We'll just leave it at that. We can't tell you everything. But I will say I've never seen it snow so hard, and like we felt sorry for the guy. Like he's just like, come on, he has to go someplace, and there was no way for him to get there, and it was pouring snow, and I just go, I'm gonna pick him up, and then he was a really nice guy, right? He was a nice guy.
100%. I mean, it could be one of those things down the road. He's talking to his therapist right now, and he's like, I was thinking of being a serial killer, back in the day that I got in a car with these three idiots, and I didn't know. I mean, I thought I was crazy. These three guys.
One story, okay? Just one. That's it. Because you guys will appreciate this, all right? It's about 4:00 in the morning. We've been drinking for hours after the Habs Bruins game at the Old Forum. And do you remember at the hotel they would have those big like ashtrays, like giant ashtrays? Like they were like, Mike, what, 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall? Like when you got out of an elevator, it's like this silver giant ashtray. And Mike picks up the most unsanitary ashtray with I almost swore, freaking ashes falling over his dumb head and all over the floor. And he's walking around holding like the Stanley Cup yelling, Coop Stanley, Coop Stanley.
I had hair back then, so those ashes were actually in my hair.
We were obliterated. There's just no other way to. And then the French Terminator came in the room and he started yelling at us and he goes, if you do not quiet down, I will be back. And I was so obliterated. I just looked at him and go, who are you, the French Terminator? Ah! And then we all lost it.
Funniest thing ever at that moment.
Okay, enough. All right.
All right. None. Okay, we got it out.
All right, we got it out. So, yes, Monday, we're taping the first hockey time of the year for state champs. My guy, Jay Kidd's still going to be there. He's still going to be doing the games. He's going to do the coaches' interviews. Mike and I are going to bring you the show each and every week. From now on, we have a BU Brother Rice next Wednesday. And then the following Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving, we are going to be at the Battle of Baseline, Northville, Novi, and then Orchard Lake and Brighton. And then we got a few more surprises planned. I know, Mike, I think I can say this one. We're going to be at the Catholic League final out in Fraser. Yep. And then we have a couple trips we're working on. How's that?
I like it. I like it. Our guy, John Watson, is setting this whole thing up. He's a beauty, and we're going to do a lot this year, Sean.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Let me get to Austin. Austin posted something like 5 minutes before we went on the air. These questions, not about a specific team or moment, but just in general. One, do defensemen just not clear the front of the net anymore? That is such a legitimate point. It is like legitimate. And he said, does anybody play the man anymore?
Yeah. I mean, he's talking in general. You know, my thing, we were talking about the wings, but it's just a lot. That stay-at-home defenseman, that guy that's going to clear things out, it's just the game has changed. It really has. Once you're in your defensive zone, everything's going to be pushed out. It's more stick on stick, right? Get to the stick, do things like that. It's just it's a lost art of back in the day, because when you're talking about that kind of defenseman, they're a little heavier, right? It's speed now, Sean.
Got to move.
It really is. You got to be able to move, and you got to be offensive and move that puck. So he's on to something there, but I mean, it's just the way of the game.
Mike, I know I told you personally, and I said this so many times when I was on the radio and so many of the shows that I did, you saw it going this way. And I look back to the Quinn Hughes draft, and shame on multiple teams for letting that guy go. Like absolute for shame. And listen, I'll even go back a couple of years ago. Lane Hudson going where he did in the draft, and I know he's so slight, okay? And he's still, so it doesn't matter. That's the league today, man. It simply doesn't matter.
You're looking for more than clearing what's in the back end. You're looking for someone that's going to be able to move that puck, get it to the offensive zone, pass that puck, create that offense, and be a part of it. And this is where we can come back to Detroit and we can say we're kind of stuck in between. Mo Seider, I think his best part of his game is if he can agitate and he can play gritty and like he did his rookie year and play like that. But that's not the way of the game. The game, they want your number one, number two has got to be moving that puck forward, go. So he's trying to be more offensive and do things like that. I think it's taken him out of his game, Sean.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I don't think there's any. A couple weeks ago, I was kind of iffy on ASP and if he was ready. And I'll tell you what, Mike, I watched them a lot in the last week, and you're watching this guy grow in front of our eyes. I really believe that. I think you're watching. I know I even made a comment to you about it last week, and then this past week, I go, well, I got to correct myself. I don't know if you feel the same way. I'm watching this guy grow in front of my very eyes.
100%. And again, take my words lightly. When we look at Lane Hudson, right, and where he was in the beginning of the year, and as he progressed, and I'm not saying they're on the same level or on the same plane or anything, but you saw him progress to where even in the times that we're like, this kid's going to win Rookie of the Year, right? He was turning pucks over, and me and you had many a conversation about he's got to get that under control. He would just throw pucks at. ASP is making those same kinds of growths at a different level. He's making that every time you see it, Sean, he's correcting what you were pissed about last game. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And he has that ability to have his head up, take that second, and move that puck with a purpose. And that is the key, as we've been saying here, with what they want out of their defense nowadays.
Palat just scored, so New Jersey took a 2-1 lead. By the way, Mike, Sidney Crosby, 2 power play goals. That is 11 goals on the year for the 38-year-old Sidney Crosby.
Like a fine wine, Sean. Like a fine wine. And my love for him it is out in the open. We've said it many times on the airwaves. I know people here in Detroit will call him a crybaby and all these kinds of things. The guy is not only just one of the best, he's one of the best players to ever play the game, Sean.
He really is.
And it's carrying on. It's carrying on. 38. He's having an unbelievable year. I mean, it is to build up his. Yep.
Gino is too. Gino's off to a tear right now. He's a wagon.
Yeah. This is obviously to build up his draft stock so that they can milk the Canadians out of everything when they move him there.
David said Demidov is unreal. You guys know my feelings. I don't even watching him every night. There are not just multiple things he does where you just laugh. Like, and I can't tell you how many times, and like, my son's kind of got his dad's sarcasm. We'll be watching a game and Jack will look at me and he'll go, "Hey Dad, how old's Demidov?" Because like, I probably say it 10 times a game, Mike. I'll go, "He's 19. He's 19 years old. Jack, do you understand that kid's 19 years old?" So like, Jack being the wiseacre, like his old man, he'll go, "Hey Dad, how old is Ivan Demidov?" Like it's kind of funny how that works. All right. We got to get to the Bennington thing. Austin, you're on fire tonight. That's amazing. He's doing it 20 years into his career. Tom, I know I've had my balls busted so many times by people in this town, and I love Sidney Crosby and all that stuff. It has been a pleasure to watch him play hockey. I mean that, an absolute pleasure to watch him play hockey. And it isn't just the points. It isn't just the goals. I mean, just the way he conducts himself every single day. I am just a huge Sidney Crosby fan. I have no other way to say that. All right. Did Binnington put the puck in his 2-hole? Listen, Mike, I firmly believe that guy was trying to weasel the puck. I know what they said, and I know that Logan Thompson kind of gave him the grain of salt. I firmly believe that guy was trying to weasel that puck. I really did.
Oh yeah, we see it all the time. It's gamesmanship. You see it where, be it that or the last goal of the game in a series or something, guys are going to take pucks, throw pucks into the stands, try to get them into the locker room. It's nothing but gamesmanship, and that should not be a surprise to anyone. Bennington's got a little in him, and he would do that. I mean, just despite him. And I mean, it didn't surprise me. He was also pulled later in that game.
Yeah, stunner. All right, let me take care of some business because he and I can just BS. When it's time to get yourself a new house, you're buying, you're selling, oftentimes both at the same time, you need to contact the right agent. Who do we recommend? Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. When it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Yes, Tom, we saw Sidney Crosby and that Rimouski team. Mike, I was at that Memorial Cup in London in 2005. Nobody was beating that Knights team, especially at home. It wasn't going to happen. No. But you knew, I remember people calling me and, okay, I've heard about the Sidney Crosby kid. What do you think? And I said, above what you think. You know, it's how often do you hear hype about guys where they actually exceed the hype? And I think that I honestly believe, Mike, Sidney Crosby was one of those guys that exceeded the hype.
Absolutely. And you think about the pressure, and not just anyone, but a Canadian kid coming up that's being labeled the next one, right? You have the great one, the next one. And for him to do what he's done, and in a short period of time, turning that Pittsburgh franchise around from where they were to winning cups, Sean, you know my feelings for him. He's done everything on and off the ice. He's just been a great NHLer.
I'm hoping he pulled a switch. That comes from Adam. Chris says, go Habs, go. Yeah, they trail again. I'm tired of that. But obviously can't complain too much about the record right now at 9-3-1. But, Mike, the Red Wings keeping pace with them. And you know, we talked about it before. I think around Thanksgiving time, you get a pretty good gauge. It's not the be-all, end-all, because we saw that happen last year. But I think you get a pretty good gauge of where they're at. They're not too far away. Let's see what happens when they come back home now.
I'm gonna keep to my word of, as long as we are embracing the youth movement as the Red Wings management is, I'm gonna be positive. This was a nice West Coast trip. It really came out showing, hey, we can play on the road. And we didn't get much out of the rookies. You got a good look at them, but it was the veterans that kind of kept them going through this through the West Coast trip up to the stinker with Vegas. But Sean, we're just a couple weeks removed from being at Thanksgiving, and they're really looking good. They're going to be one of those teams. The only there's a lot of teams below us that we're expecting a lot more out of. So they're going to have to keep it up. They can't take the foot off the gas like they've done in the past. But as we stand right now, you have to like what you see. They're keeping pace. Dylan Larkin is keeping pace. You know, it's really looking positive.
Can I bring up one minor complaint? And I'm intrigued to hear if you feel the same way. Just one minor complaint. And I don't want to say it's a complaint right now. It's a worry moving forward. And this is a buzz term, but I got to say it again. Secondary scoring. Do they have enough secondary scoring?
Sean, after this, we'll get to my two complaints. And this is part of one of my complaint is that the offense. Like, not only your secondary scoring, are they going to have enough first score? How would you say it? Front scoring, the first guy scoring, that top guy scoring. I mean, Dylan Larkin's keeping pace, but Sean, their offense to me is more almost like an NBA style of an isolation of one guy. He goes, he shoots, and the problem with that is they have no puck retrieval. It's one and done, and it's back out. We were talking about this on the way out to Cranbrook yesterday. I see no offensive flow or no offensive chemistry amongst any of these guys. And to say that, you have to watch the Wings, then go watch anybody. I'm not even going to point at your Habs, who have unbelievable offensive chemistry right now. Just go watch the NHL and some of the creativity and the things that are happening. The Wings don't have it. I'm greatly concerned about that. And again, moving forward, can you keep pace in the NHL with zero offensive creativity?
I think Dawson Mason Appleton is sadly no longer on pace for 61 goals.
Austin is on it today. He is on it.
Can I get to his other question just for a second? Did you have another point to make about the Wings? Because I love his other question. I love his other question. Did you have another point to make? I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, I was going to say the second concern that I have, as we were talking the other day, is this could be the softest team in the NHL. We watch a lot of games, Sean. I know you watch a lot of games, so you can come at me with that. But you can't go in whole NHL game like they did against Vegas and accumulate 10 hits in the entire game. I don't understand how that happens.
Unbelievable. It really was, Mike. You brought that up when we were driving to Cranbrook last night. Unbelievable.
They are so easy to play against. It's unbelievable. And what the word I used, the statement I said, Sean, was they are the exact opposite of what Florida is.
Yep.
Where Florida, you don't want to play Florida. After you play Florida, you played Florida. You want to play Detroit. I'm not saying you're going to win every game, but you're going to come out of that game just as fresh as anything. I mean, they present nothing. I saw a couple moments, again, where Seider's trying to do it, but I just don't know if he has the go from the coaches, like, that's how we want you to play.
Can I say this, Mike? And I'm intrigued to get your thoughts. I think you can get away with it in this league in the regular season. Okay. I do not think you can get away with it come playoff time. If the Wings make it. Yeah, that's a long way away. Every single year we see things settle down and we see the 3-2 and we see the 2-1 and we mix in the occasional 4-3 game. I think you can get away with that in the regular season. You're just not going to get away with that in a playoff series.
And I agree with you. And I'll just take it the one step further of, I think you can get away with it right now in the regular season. There's going to come a point, Sean, when you look, I don't know where they're at right now. I haven't looked at the standings today, but if you go probably about a week ago, some of the teams that are on the outside of the playoff picture looking in, as far as like early in the season with your Floridas and such, those teams are going to turn it up at some point. I mean, I don't know if they still are. At one point last week, Florida was in dead last, right, in the East. That's not going to last. At some point, they're going to say, all right, we're done being cute, and we're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to make everybody's life miserable. Every team has that moment where they do it. Detroit's going to have that because they're not going to get away with it too much longer.
Which non-traditional power do you guys think has the best chance to make some noise in the Olympics? Austin, I'm going to assume that you're not talking about the big four. That's what Sweden, Finland, Canada, USA is it fair statement. I have one, Mike. In my mind, I have one. You probably think I'm going to pick one because I fell in love with the way they play, but I'm not picking that one. I don't want to steal you. Is there one that you're looking at? Because there's a roster to me that looks really, really good in a very fly under the radar way. I'll just Czechia. I really like their roster. Okay. You've got Pasta. Okay. I think they're just a bunch of really good players on that. Am I saying that they're going to go win a gold? No, I'm not saying that. Could they pop an upset and maybe medal? My jaw wouldn't drop. The easy answer is Switzerland, because I have enjoyed watching the Swiss on the national stage and doing a lot of games involving the Swiss. They've done a really good job developing some really good young players. But when you're on the main stage like this, I think Switzerland's a cute little story. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Czechia.
Yeah, I think Czechia is the strong end of it. I think the two cute ends of it is Switzerland, and then you go with Leon Draisaitl's Germany. Yeah. And some teams such as that. But I think you're onto something with the Czechia team.
Let me see. There were some other comments that I had to get to. How much does Olympic chances play into Larkin's play compared to when a player is in his contract year? It's a good question. He has been unbelievable, though. Like I don't care who, you can't take away from what that guy's doing. And Mike, again, you know, they say that your prime is 27. He's 2 years past his prime, for goodness sake, you know, and he's playing the best hockey of his career. He really is.
And we've been saying it. We're more than pleased with him. I think he's living up to the contract, but it's a great point because we've actually poked fun at him being Captain USA and some of the comments that he made about the four and during the Four Nations, and that he was trying to get to the captaincy and trying to do all these kinds of things for
that was a bad take. That was
it was a very bad take. It didn't sit well, but I think this point is a very good point. It could have a lot to do with it. To me, it would be sad. I get it, but it would be sad because there's bigger fish to fry that we need to happen in the city.
If you guys don't remember, he kind of came out and pointed the finger at a lot of different American players and said, well, gosh, damn it, you should go play at the World Championship like me and so many other guys do. And I'm not trying to be a dick. Don't take this as a shot if you're a Wing fan, okay? Unfortunately, there are people out there that do that, Mike. That's easy for you to say, Dylan. Your team hasn't made the playoffs. A lot of these other guys are playing. They're playing around. They're playing multiple rounds, okay? It wasn't a well-thought-out take by Dylan Larkin. I think there were, as you said, bigger fish to fry. My complaint is they need more nastiness. Opposing players can't stand around in front of our net too much. And Austin said, agree, wings are soft, Mike. We've been saying it for 2 years. I keep bringing up the Mike Babcock quote. Toughness is a choice. Mike, I'm a firm believer in that. I really am. If you want to be tough, be tough. Really, it's that simple. And being tough doesn't mean that Mike is going to go into the corner and drop his gloves, okay? No. You know what? I'm going to play hard on the puck. I'm going to come at you. I'm going to be pesky. I'm going to win every single battle that I possibly can, et cetera, et cetera. And that element's missing far too often. It is.
Yeah, and I think it was summed up last night at Media Day when I asked the question to Gabriel Richard, and I said, hey, are you guys going to be that gritty team? And the coach said, hey, I've got it, and I'd rather have it than have to try to coach it because you really can't coach it. You just got to have it, and I just don't see it, Sean. It's probably my biggest concern with the Wings. I just don't see it with them. And you cannot coach that. You can't take a soft guy and say, go tough, be tough. It's not going to happen.
No. Can Detroit and Montreal keep this up with average goalies? You bite your tongue, Ray. You bite your tongue. Don't you dare talk that way about my Dobish. Don't you dare. Sorry, I did the rant last week. Stop with the Québécois. Je me souviens. Stop. He is such a better goalie than Montem blows. Mike, I kind of had a meltdown on you the other night. It wasn't Mike's fault, and I apologize. But I was like, see, they're doing it again. But now, you know what? I actually get it now why he started Montem blows against Philly at home and decided to go with Dobish in New Jersey tonight. I actually get it. I do get it. I do. I don't like it. I wish he'd get more starts, but you get my point.
Yeah, I mean, but your concern isn't this game. Your concern is the overall pattern of them going back
100%. 100%. Who has surprised you more, Detroit, Montreal, or Pittsburgh? That's a great question, right? Mike, I'm going to let you go first.
That is a great question, and without a doubt, I will jump right to Pittsburgh.
I would too.
I thought Pittsburgh was done. I thought they were washed. I thought they were old. I thought they were going to start selling pieces from Letang to Malkin to Crosby.
Where's Crosby going?
He's going to Montreal. If he doesn't go to my boy McKinnon, he's going to Montreal, Sean. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You know this. You know this. But by far, it's Pittsburgh. I mean, slightly below Pittsburgh to me would be Detroit. I didn't see it. I don't like the roster. I don't like what they've done or haven't done. The least of my surprise would be Montreal, and you know that. I've been talking about them since that series against Washington and how impressed I was.
You see Kirby
Unfortunately
Doc
for you.
Did you see Kirby Doc woke up, by the way? Have you noticed that? He scored again.
What did I say at Buffalo Wild Wings? We're at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Did you ever think you would see anyone score 900 goals? Absolutely not. No way, no how, nope, zero, zilch. As recent as 2 years ago, Mike, when did we go to Houghton and Hancock and Calumet? We were sitting in the van arguing with people. There is no way Ovi's going to eventually. That's when Ovi broke his leg and he was fat Ovi. There's no way he's going to catch Gretzky, right? No.
There's no way. And we didn't think he was going to catch Gretzky. There's no way we can say that we thought he was going to get 900. And no one thought anybody would ever catch Gretzky, let alone 900.
Did you guys see the stat? Local boy Trouba has more goals and less penalty minutes than Sean's boy Panarin so far this year. I told you. Listen, I got into a pretty good argument with Aaron Ward about that. I'm not Joe Mike. I know I told you about it, and I was because he was like, oh, they are going to smoke Florida. And I'm like, are you kidding me? When you play 75% of the ice, man, that's going to catch up to you at playoff time. You're going to get your 109 points. I feel like Larry Robinson right now. I can't get my 60 goals. I'm going to get my 60 goals. But rough. I mean, he is. He's a dog. I'm sorry.
But Sean, fear not. He shaved his head again, so all is right. He's going to be great again. I can't believe the trade interest and the trade talk around that guy. Like they're talking like people want him. No. I mean, I don't get that. That's not a guy you trade for to improve your team for the playoffs. Not at all.
Michigan State, Michigan, Western Michigan being ranked top 3. Which of any will make the Frozen Four? Don't ask me that, Ray. You're asking the wrong guy. I think after the failures of the last couple of years, I think there are a bunch of guys in East Lansing with a huge chip on their shoulder. I will also, in the interest of being fair, Michigan has as much talent as anybody in the nation. That period, end of story. Naranjo's done a fantastic job of accumulating talent there. He really has. What a weekend. I wish I could get up there this weekend. Mike, Penn State coming to Michigan State. Pretty stinking cool. I wish I could get up there.
That's going to be, that's what we have TVs for, Sean. That's what we got TVs for.
It can be Marshawn Rat toughness, no doubt. Looks like Nolan Ryan is playing for the Wings. No hits. That's good. Mountain Blows will play against the Cellar Dwellers. I hope that's the case. I hope it continues to be that way. Tom Dobish Brady and Sam Drew Henson, Mountain Blows. Thank you. Battle of the UP tomorrow. I love every second of it, Henry. We're hoping to get up there, as a matter of fact, for a trip later on this year. Fingers crossed. We're working on a couple things, and I love going up there, especially going up there in January. And you know what? To me, Mike, what Jeffers does for an encore is going to be really cool. Houghton, you always know what they bring to the table. No doubt about that. Same with Marquette. Can the Sioux take the next? There are a lot of really good stories up in the UP. And I saw my boy Greg Givens. He's a Hancock guy all day. Let's see what the Bulldogs got. I love hockey up there. It's fantastic.
It's going to be great. We've heard good things about the youth in Calumet for years now, Sean. So hopefully we're going to see something come out of there. And like you said, Jeffers, they didn't lose too much. And as we always know, at some point, Marquette's going to try to stick their nose in there, right? I mean, that's just a tough-nosed team.
Shout out to my guy, Dougie Garrett.
Yeah, Doug's always got them playing. He's got them playing their system. They're going to block shots. They're going to do whatever it takes to win the games. But we'll see who comes out of the UP.
Henry, you guys have a snowstorm tomorrow, right? You're Western UP, as I recall, right? You're Western UP. You guys got snow coming in already? Wow. Hey, All About Catering LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction, their number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Ray, again, you're asking the wrong guys. We are going to be generational here. I guarantee you. We are going to be generational. Ray said, what's your favorite non-NHL arena to watch games in? Non-NHL arena, all right? I absolutely loved the Aud in Kitchener. And a big part of that is, of course, they have Larry Robinson's jersey hanging from the rafters. But, Mike, you know the smell that I'm talking about? The Aud has the smell. It just it has. I really, really, if I had to pick one, and Lord knows they were such a bitter rival for us. I mean the Whalers for so many years. I loved going to the Odd. I absolutely loved going to the Odd.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take a blast from the past here, Sean. I don't even think this place is around anymore. But the old barn where was it the Toledo Storm?
Yeah, the Sports Aroma.
Yeah. Oh my God, was that a great place? Great ECHL hockey, but it's a dump. But go there and you're on top. It's like Eddie Egger for the ECHL. I mean, it was amazing. I saw some games there. To me, that was like, oh my God, this is just great. Like the history, the smell. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, boy, Ray, that's a great question. There are so. Mike, I was so blessed to do the OHL for so many years and see so many of those cool old barns. It was, and there were, and there are a lot of nice new ones too. You know what I'm saying? The over under was 5.5 on the Habs. I went with the over. Boy, it looked that way. Did you see both teams scored on their first shot? So it's 2-1 after 2. We'll see how that goes. Hershey Park Arena. Okay, yeah, that's respectable. That's hell yeah, that's very respectable. Shout out to Flea. Yeah, I remember Flea in the Flea Cup. Mike, anything else before we get out of here? I can't believe we just bullshit for 41 minutes, by the way. It's shocker.
No, what did I
tickle your fancy?
I had something. Oh, I've got a couple things that I gotta get to you and ask you. So we talked about the Leafs last week, right?
Maple Leaf.
And the Maple Leaf. And they were down 3-0 the other night, real quick. Was it Pittsburgh? It might have been Pittsburgh. I forget who it was.
Yeah.
And again, Berube addresses the team in between periods. They come out and score 4 in the third, I believe, and win the game. They win their next game. Has Craig Berube got his finger on the pulse of that locker room and that team and got them playing the way they need to play without Mitch Marner, which we talked about last week? It's a different game that they're going to have to play now.
I was not worried about them before, Mike, and I'm not worried about them now. Granted, I don't think that's a – Ray, I know you're a Leaf fan. I don't think that's a gritty enough team to take any kind of trip of consequence come the playoff, but I was not worried about them. The cream is going to rise to the top in this division. I'm a firm believer in it, and I say that knowing who's on top of the division. I really do. I think the cream is going to rise to the top in this division. We'll see.
Okay. Question number 2, and this gets back to Mr. Puck Stealer, Jordan Binnington. There was a rumor going around, because we talked about this also last week. We didn't know if we talked about it last week or if it was a personal conversation about, is Rod Brindamore safe? And you said yes. However, with Freddie Anderson as your goalie, you're always going to be in trouble. I don't know how you do it. Binnington to the Canes has been in the bush there, in the rumors there. Do you think that could change the Canes' fate?
Yes. I would take him over the 3 that they have. That Russian goalie that they were so high on, Kuchtikov, whatever the hell his name is, that kid, it isn't happening. Yes. And Jordan Binnington's the type of guy that, we've seen it. You've seen it. Can get on some kind of heater, and the next thing you know, they have not given. I mean, seriously, go back. They haven't had anything closely resembling a stud goalie. They didn't back when I was doing games for them. They didn't have any. Cam Ward was so beyond his prime. Cam Ward years. Occasionally, he'd have a Cam Ward game, but they were so beyond that. So. I would do it. Yes, I would do it. I really, truly would.
I think the guy's a winner. I think St. Louis is struggling, so I think there might be some validity to it. Last one before we go here, not only for you, Sean, but any Red Wing fans out there. Not this offseason, but the offseason before that, a lot of people were screaming for Steven Stamkos. He's available, Sean. Do Wings fan want him now?
What happened?
What is going on?
What
$8
happened?
million. People were
What
willing to put out $8 million for him.
What happened?
Does he need another change of scenery? Is it bad in Nashville? What if they keep half of it and you get him at $4 million?
Yeah,
I'm saying no. There's no. I think the tell has been this last year or so. I say no, but I know Red Wing. He looks awful.
Like he really does.
Red Wing fan wanted. Hey, Hockeytown wanted him at $8 million. Hey, Steve Yzerman, come get him.
General manager really did.
Yeah,
I know the general manager really did. I know that. I know that the general manager really, really wanted him. Mike, at $4 million though, would I take a chance, especially if I'm a team going to the playoff? Right? If I'm a team going to the playoff, would I take a chance down the stretch on Stamkos? I'm probably the only guy to say yes, but I would. I really would.
I see what you're saying. So we get down to the trade deadline.
Yes.
We think we need one guy. One guy, you put him on that power play.
Yes.
One guy we don't need defense out of.
Yes.
You're going to eat some of that. If I can get a chance at one cup, I will eat that last 2 years of that contract. 100%.
Leader, great guy. He really is. He's a great kid. He's not a kid anymore. I'm probably the only one, but I'd say yes.
But you've got to be this close, Sean. You've got to be this close.
Yeah. When some guys fall off, they just fall off. Look at Russell Wilson. Oh, quarterbacks are the worst. They're the arms that die. Like you watch Drew Brees' arm die. Like we did in real time. Like Drew Brees' arm. And the funniest thing is he was doing the NFL broadcast the next year, and he's like, "I got to tell you something. Hey guys, last year I couldn't throw." No, Drew. Wow, really? What a revelation. Really? Dude, when it goes, it goes. That's no other way to say it. Hey, by the way, one more thing, Mike, before we get out of here. If you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville, owned by those two fellas right there. Two brothers with over 20 years of industry experience. They're friends of mine, and yeah, my family, we've been a client of theirs for a while now. They offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. If you're planning for retirement, you're new to all this. Maybe you're getting ready to sell a company, whatever the case may be, they'll help guide you through every step of your own personal financial journey. They work with clients who are at all stages of life, and they have clients in over 20 different states. Look, the investment world, it is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it's time to work with the experts. Reach out to the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or check out their website at www.thewealthadv.com. So, Mike, just to recap, can we do next Thursday again? Todd, does that work for you next Thursday if Mike and I do next Thursday? Mike, does that work for you next Thursday? Yes.
Yes, sir.
3-0 Pittsburgh. Did Crosby score again? Tell me it's a natural Hattie, please. Now I got to look it up, Tom. What do you do?
We got to see. We got to see. Oh, where is it?
I'm going to go watch a certain game in New Jersey.
Oh, no. That huge prospect out of Detroit that they should have probably traded a long time ago, Anthony Mantha.
Jesus.
He's got 8 goals?
No, it's insane. It's insane. So check out Mike and I in the State Champs Network, along with John Kidd and our fantastic crew. We're going to be doing the Hockey Time Show. That's just dedicated to the high school ranks, something near and dear and personal to our hearts, to be sure. And then we're doing a game next Wednesday, and then we'll be back here next Thursday, 8:00 with What the Puck. See you soon, pal.
What the Puck with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Always Pushing Forward by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.